A vision is a picture of where you want to end up. It is like a blueprint of a finished product that you are about to produce. Leaders keep their hands on the process, but their eyes on the end result. A vision is an idea inspired by God. It is what God wants you to contribute to the world. While no human being can know all the ramifications of his or her life, you should have a good idea of the purpose and vision the Creator has given you to accomplish. How does one progress from discovering purpose to having a vision? Let's look at the distinction between purpose and vision. Having a vision means seeing the outworking of that purpose in your mind by faith and beginning to imagine it as reality. Having a sense of purpose means knowing and understanding what you were born to accomplish. This vision, when fully possessed and matured, explodes in a passion that creates an internal drive that inspires all who come into your presence. We noted Solomon's observation that when people have no vision, they perish. See Proverbs 29:18 KJV. While some people seem to grasp and pursue a vision early in life, many people appear to have been taught that you grow up, go to school, get married, pursue a career, and wait until your name is called before you step out and really do something with your life. For years, these people sit around waiting to hear their names called. A visionary can see what's down the road and what it's going to take to get there. Visionaries are not satisfied with what's happening. They're interested in what's going to happen and how they can make it happen. Some people go with the flow, but visionaries create their own flow. A leader's vision is more real and important to him than the experience of the present. Do you know what you really want in life? Some people are interested in only living a comfortable lifestyle or in promoting solely themselves. Others think life begins at retirement and they waste most of their years by not doing what they are really called to do. Avoid falling into any of these categories. Leaders exist to fulfill a vision. Don't delay pursuing yours. Are you waiting around for someone to discover you, recognize your gifts, offer you a position, or promote you? If so, you are wasting your time, and there's no time to waste. There's work to do. You have a vision to express. Untold numbers of people need you to fulfill your purpose. Some people will need your direct help or inspiration. Others will need your indirect assistance and encouragement. The world needs your invention, your social policy, your artwork, your archaeological discovery, your medical breakthrough, your athletic achievement, your nurturing, or your unwavering honesty, perseverance, and faith. We have many different tools and resources at our disposal with which to accomplish our purposes. But many of us are just sitting around because we have no vision. When you begin to see your vision clearly, you will be able to fulfill your life's purpose and become the leader you were created to be. This vision must be very plain to you because you need something specific to work toward. Otherwise, you will risk not accomplishing your purpose. Note that a vision is not the same thing as a purpose statement, nor is it the same thing as a goal or an objective. Because God has placed your purpose inside you, you are the only one who can imagine, nurture, and fulfill your vision. You must have a vision for the fulfillment of your leadership on earth. Again, to discover your purpose and vision, you need to ask yourself questions such as these. What have I always wanted to do? What is my heart's desire? What specifically can I do to fulfill my plans and dreams? What thoughts, ideas, plans, and dreams have remained consistent within me? A statement of purpose gives you a general description of your overall calling in life. It is philosophical and abstract, while a vision is concrete and practical. A statement of purpose is open-ended in the sense that it can have many aspects and applications. In contrast, a vision statement is a very precise description that has a specific emphasis and definable boundaries. It is only when you develop a precise statement of intention that you can develop goals and objectives that will enable you to fulfill your vision. My purpose is to improve the quality of education for inner city children. My vision is to fund and create 2 magnet schools for grades 9-12 in city. My purpose is to improve the quality of education for inner city children. My vision is to get my master's degree in education so I can become a reading specialist and help teachers develop student-specific programs that will enable elementary school children to overcome reading disabilities and other obstacles to reading. My purpose is to improve the quality of education for inner city children. My vision is to become a nutritionist and teach parents how to provide better nutrition for their children, so the children will have more energy and mental alertness to be able to learn in the classroom. Do you see how one purpose statement can have a variety of corresponding vision statements? It is essential to recognize the foundational principle of the underlying motivation in developing a vision. For from this motivation, all true leadership derives its essence and context. Theologian Paul of Tarsus, one of the greatest leaders in history, wrote to his own leader in training, Timothy, "If anyone sets his heart on being an overseer, he desires a noble task." 1 Timothy 3:1. If someone desired to be an overseer, it would be a noble desire, as long as his motivation was to fulfill his God-given purpose and vision. The desire to aspire is a reflection of the character of God in our inner being. It promotes the nature of God if we serve others in His love and promote the fruit of His Spirit. See Galatians 5:22-23. A desire to become what you were created to be is a good thing. A desire to serve others is noble. Yet we need to guard against setting our hearts on leadership out of greed, self-centeredness, or a lust for power. I facilitate many seminars around the world to train those who are in leadership positions in the realms of government, business, religion, and education. During these seminars, I am commonly asked this question: how can I know if my vision as a leader is inspired by God and merits the support of many people? This question is really one of motivation. My answer is a result of having questioned myself many years ago when I wanted to determine whether my personal passion, desires, and vision in life were divinely inspired. After much contemplation and meditation, I received an answer that has guided me for nearly 40 years. The answer was simple. Does your vision improve, enhance, and help humanity? Does your passion make human life better on planet Earth and relieve mankind of things that tear down and destroy? This answer provides the criteria for all personal dreams, passions, desires, and plans. And if your purpose, vision, and goals benefit only you, then they are not divinely inspired. True leadership will always result in the advancement, progress, development, enhancement, improvement, protection, and security of humanity. Leadership inspired by God never destroys but is constructive and progressive. Any desire to lead that does not include empowering others and improving their lives is selfish ambition, and this type of ambition has no place in leadership. Vision challenges convention. Another characteristic of true vision is that it has a tendency to defy conventional thinking. Leaders must be willing to challenge traditions and experiment with new ideas. When you discover yourself, you become free from the controlling opinions of others. Leaders have such a strong sense of purpose and security that they welcome the unknown. A leader has to step out in faith. Visionaries have to act on their faith in the visions God has placed within them. There are those who say faith is a leap in the dark. I disagree. When we act on vision, we don't leap into the dark. We take great leaps into the light. Once you understand God's vision for your life, you must develop a plan for fulfilling it. A vision becomes a plan when it is thought out clearly and can be addressed specifically. Proverbs 16:9 says, "In his heart a man plans his course, but the Lord determines his steps." Your vision plan outlines what you want to do with your life today, 6 months from now, 1 year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 25 years from now, and 50 years from now. People in industrialized nations are living longer and longer lives on average. And a 50-year plan is not unrealistic, especially if you are a young person still in college. In fact, if you're in your 20s, you may need a 70-year plan. You will modify and refine your plan over the years as you continue to respond to God's leading. Yet if you don't have a long-term vision to begin with, you may stop prematurely and never complete your purpose. Too many people are trying to live their lives without careful thought or planning. They fail to accomplish their dreams, then wind up unsatisfied and frustrated. What is worse, they may never even realize they haven't accomplished anything in life to fulfill their intended purpose. A rewarding and productive life comes from having a specific plan to fulfill your personal vision. Through the inspiration and guidance of the Holy Spirit, your concrete vision of faith, and the natural abilities God has given you, you can develop a plan for your vision. In addition, as you write down your plan on paper or type it on the computer, you can begin to pray for specific help in accomplishing each step of your plan. God gave you the vision, and you must have His help continually in clarifying and fulfilling it. Your vision plan will include goals and objectives. Goals are the various tasks and endeavors you need to complete in order to fulfill your vision. Objectives are the detailed steps of your goals. Ask yourself, what do I need to do first, second, and third? And when do these tasks need to be accomplished? Some people have visions without the will to bring them into reality. An effective leader not only develops a specific vision, but he or she also makes a strong commitment to it. Jesus expressed this perspective when he said, in effect, "My food is to do the will of my Father." See John 4:34. Committing to your vision will enable you to stay the course with your purpose, rather than be distracted by lesser, even if good, or unnecessary things. I know people who have great ideas but do nothing to accomplish them. They talk about their ideas, but then when they finish, they just go back home and sit. Vision is the source of self-motivation and discipline. When I first entertained the idea of getting my bachelor's degree, I thought it was the farthest thing from me. I sat at home thinking, no one in my family has ever attended college. What am I even thinking about? Yet I began to keep company with God, and I started to think school. Attending college didn't happen overnight, however. The first thing I had to do was to get my GED. That was an important objective on the way to accomplishing my vision, and I had to commit to it. I began to study when everyone else was playing. I was doing algebra problems when everyone else was eating lunch. It took work. After I got my GED, I thought I'd accomplished something big. So I said, "Ready now, Lord?" And He said, "No, you have to take entrance exams." And I said, "Oh no." So I started putting my nose to the grindstone again. I studied and studied and studied, and I passed. Then the Lord said, "Well, you wanted a BA, now you have to go to a university." I thought, oh no, 4 years of my life. 4 years seemed like a long time at first, but they went by quickly. When I finished, I thought, I've got a B. Now let's get a master's degree. I worked at bettering myself. I overcame obstacles. Then I looked back and thought what was impossible became possible, and my mind began to open up to even more possibilities. When you have tasted the possibilities, it is very difficult to settle for impossibilities. Again, when you write out your vision, keep in mind that even though it needs to be specific, it isn't necessarily the final word. It isn't a completely finished plan. You will gain a greater understanding of your purpose and vision as you deepen your relationship with your Creator and as you grow as a person. It is a good practice to review your personal vision on a regular basis and adjust it as needed. Many people are going through life with no idea of where they will end up. If you will sit down with a blank sheet of paper or a blank computer screen and clarify your vision, setting goals and objectives for your life, you will find that you will accomplish much more than you might ever have imagined. A vision plan will give you much needed direction and stimulus. Some people lose momentum too early and miss out on what they were really meant to do. When a leader loses a vision, in effect, he dies. Leaders must not only conceptualize, plan, and commit to their visions, but they must also make sure to maintain them. See your vision through to the end, as God leads you, despite any roadblocks you may run into. As you progress toward fulfilling your purpose, you must also recognize the danger of imagining you have accomplished your vision when you have actually fulfilled only part of it. You may be facing a problem and thinking, I'm never going to get out of this one. Remember the problems you've worked through in the past? They came and they went. So when problems come, remind yourself that you will be able to get through these difficulties too. Ask God for encouragement and strength. There's nothing in this world that is not temporary. Keep going. Pursue your vision and fulfill your purpose.